Are you a meditation practitioner who is considering becoming more spiritual? Through my extensive experience as a meditation teacher, I've come to learn that meditation is a golden gateway to a spiritual life. Perhaps you came to meditation recently during the wave of extreme popularity that mindfulness is currently enjoying. And if so, you might be interested in learning more about spiritual practices, more about how to live a spiritual life. Well, in this guide, I'm going to describe how meditation and spiritual life mix, how to be a spiritual person, other exercises to do alongside meditation. If that all sounds good to you, then please remember to subscribe. So let's start by discussing the link between meditation and spirituality. Meditation and spirituality, of course, do have a very interesting relationship. On the one hand, meditation stems from two of the oldest religions in the world, Hinduism and Buddhism. It was first mentioned in the Hindu text, the Upanishads, and then, of course, heavily evolved through the work of Buddha. So in that way, of course, meditation is deeply spiritual. But on the other hand, it's so practical and so helpful that millions of non-people do it. Because of that, it is totally up to you whether you choose to do meditation as part of a broader spiritual life or whether you choose to use it as a tool, and either way is fine. Do you think meditation is inherently spiritual? Please leave a comment. I would love to hear your thoughts. Now, if you want to use meditation in a spiritual way, that generally means bringing intention, bringing context and integration into your practice. In practical terms, that could mean doing practices that relate to your beliefs, using meditation to reflect on spiritual ideas, or combining it with reading, journaling, prayer, and other practices. If you do want to combine meditation and spirituality, then please keep watching, because I'm about to discuss precisely how to do that. So how do you make meditation spiritual? Well, while there is no correct way to meditate spiritually, or indeed to live a spiritual life, here are some of my tips to get started. Start with an informed decision. Make a conscious choice to make meditation part of a broader spiritual life. Now, you might define that as connection to something higher, as self-understanding, as ethical living. You don't need to pick any specific religion, but it is good to have a bit of clarity in what your idea of spirituality means. Learn about the spirituality of meditation. Read about the spiritual origins of meditation, such as by reading the Pali canon of Buddhism and its modern interpretations. Also, learn about how meditation intermixed with other spiritual paths, such as Taoism in the Tao Te Ching, Christianity, and, well, whichever spiritual paths click with you. Keep it focused. Choose one source and explore that fully rather than jumping around between everything. Choose the right techniques. Some meditation techniques are deeply spiritual, but others are more sort of scientific. Both are great, but of course, for spirituality, we want to pick spiritual techniques, which I'll discuss more in just a little bit. When in doubt, look for techniques that emphasize compassion, insight, or transcendence, rather than techniques that discuss purely health issues. Live compassionately. Buddhism uses meditation as a means to cultivate compassion, which in Buddhism is called karuna. Virtually every religion and spiritual path touts the importance of compassion, so try to live a compassionate life. Now, one way to do that practically is to set a daily intention before meditation to bring compassion from meditation into real life situations, like how you speak to others or how you respond to stress. Create a spiritual meditation space. The space that you meditate in can have a profound effect on the quality of your meditation sessions. In fact, research shows that certain types of architecture help us to access the spiritual mindset. So, create a sacred spiritual space where you will meditate every day. You can include items such as statues of deities and sacred texts. You don't need to over-decorate it. Just have a designated space with intention and fill it with peacefulness and quiet. Add items gradually that help you bring calm or connect with your spiritual self. Do you have a special spiritual place where you meditate? Please tell me about it in a comment. Reflect after your meditation sessions. One of the biggest differences between spiritual and non-spiritual meditation is that in the former, we reflect after our practice. When you use meditation more as just a kind of health tool, you kind of just do it and that's it. But when you meditate in a spiritual way, you want to take time after your meditation session to reflect, to consider what you connected with in that session. What type of energy did you experience in that session, and to ask other spiritually minded questions about the meditation session that you have just gone through. And so be sure to reflect after each of your meditation sessions. You can write down your answer as well in a journal, and over time that will become a way to track your spiritual development. Let's now discuss spiritual meditation techniques. While some meditation techniques are not remotely spiritual, others are deeply so. Examples of non-spiritual meditation would include stuff like body scan and asana, and here are some of the spiritual forms of meditation that I recommend you try. The first that I would like to mention is mantra meditation. In mantra meditation, we meditate on sacred sounds such as Om. Spiritual mantras have specific meanings based on the religion or spirituality from which they are derived. Reciting those spiritual mantras can be a powerful tool to focus the mind and anchor the session in spiritual intention. Here's a practical tip. Start with one mantra, for instance, the Buddhist mantra Om Mani Padme Hum, and repeat it for about 5 to 10 minutes silently or out loud. Neti Neti and self-inquiry. So these two techniques are used to dissolve the ego. Many spiritualities discuss the importance of transcending the ego, some going as far as to discuss ego death, although I have my own thoughts on that, which you can read about on my blog, thedailymeditation.com. Now, if that kind of thing vibes with you, I recommend you try Neti Neti and self-inquiry meditation. And by the way, you can find guides to all of these meditation techniques on the Zen Pauly meditation channel. Merkaba meditation, or Merkaba meditation, however you choose to pronounce that. This is a very complex and profoundly spiritual meditation that uses sacred geometry as a way to transcend. Merkaba involves breathing patterns, visualization, and precise steps. It is not recommended for total beginners. In fact, I have a lot of people who come to me for meditation sessions privately because they need help doing this technique, which is a great way to learn it because it is very complicated. Other spiritual techniques that are worth considering include loving kindness meditation for generally cultivating compassion. You can also try Karuna, Tonglen, and other Buddhist meditations for compassion. Zazen, which is the principal technique used in Chan Buddhism and is incredibly good for accessing deeper states of mind. Kundalini. Now this uses breath, movement and sound to awaken the spiritual energy called Kundalini. It's very popular in yoga circles. What is your favorite meditation technique? Please let me know in a comment. As well as meditation, there are other exercises that you might like to try. For example, you might like to try Tai Chi and Qigong, both of which are very similar to meditation. They're health tools that some people do in non-spiritual ways, but they definitely do have a spiritual background as part of Taoism. They're movement meditations that can really help you to unlock your ki or chi, again, however you choose to pronounce that word. And I also find that they're just profoundly good for cultivating inner peace. They really help to ground you as well. Amazing compliments to a meditation practice. So that's Tai Chi and Qigong. Also, contemplative reading. Choose a spiritual text that stands out to you. Read a small section of it. Contemplate its meaning. This practice, which often is called Lectio Divina in Christianity, helps you absorb ideas slowly and spiritually rather than rushing through. Art. All forms of art can be done in a spiritual way, whether that means painting a picture of your deity or meditating on choral music. You can use art to express your own inner world and to connect to the spirituality of other people, of the artists themselves. When you listen to music or when you enjoy art, do so with presence. Journaling for insight. After meditation or in the evening, write about what you experienced. Ask, what did I learn today? Or where was I present? Or what truth am I being shown at the moment? Over time, this creates a record of your spiritual growth. Try walking in silence, one of my absolute favorite things, walking through a forest. A 15-minute walk without your phone, just you and your steps. Focus on your surroundings, on your body, on your breath. It's meditation in motion, and it connects you to the world around you, which all spirituality should do. There's one thing all spirituality should do is connect you to the world around you. Ritual practice. Simple rituals like lighting a candle or chanting a prayer before your meditation. Those can help make your meditation practice more sacred. They help sort of bring your mind into that spiritual space. And definitely anything that you can do compassionately. That could mean volunteering, or it could just mean being a good blinking person. Compassion is arguably the most universally shared quality between all spiritualities and religions. So just be compassionate. Now, if you take one singular thing away from this video, please make it the following. Your spiritual path is up to you. There are so many people who will tell you how you should live your life, what spirituality you should follow, and of course, that their spiritual path is the right one. The right spiritual path is your spiritual path. Try not to overthink whether you're doing the right thing. I advise the following sort of approach to spirituality. Choose a practice that resonates with you. Set a goal or intention. Create a rhythm. Even if you can only do it for 10 minutes a day, that's better than doing it for 1 hour once a week. Reflect regularly so that you can look back and see how you've grown. Adjust your practice slowly so that it more closely resembles you and your own individual beliefs. Now, I can help you find that path. And again, my motivation is to help you find or create your path. If you would like help finding or creating your own spiritual path, with no one telling you how you should be, but rather showing you, these are your options, then please visit thedailymeditation.com and let me help you. I appreciate you joining me for this video. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe.